Hey guys, Marsting here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we're going to jump in and do the last of the Goku event missions here today, which is the Bond of Parent and Child. So I thought we would do this a little bit differently than just running the same old like Vegeta and Trunks team, and actually use the double Ultimate Gohan team. I've also thrown a few units in here that we don't use that much anymore, like the STR Bardock and Gine. They do actually get the 200% leader skill from this Gohan, so they'll be pretty good on here. Pan, obviously, for the support works really well with Gohan. The LR God Goku, don't use him much these days over the physical Dokkan Fest. And then we have the Future Gohan, obviously just got his Easy A during the Worldwide. Really good support for Bond of Master and Disciple, which a lot of these characters are on. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And then obviously the Tech Trunks, I thought we would bring him because we want a Trunks on the team for the Future Gohan, but also Tech Trunks kind of back in the day, right? He was the god of the Goku event, right? Stacking up to some crazy high numbers, one of the better units. I think he released just after it, right? And he was very clearly designed for it, and that's what I get for sitting on the menu for so long without hitting record. Okay, so now we're actually in it with our friend Future Gohan. So, should be a pretty straightforward run. I'm going to keep Bardock and Gine. I was going to say I was going to keep them floating in the last spot here. They don't really provide any support, but obviously at some point their active is going to come in quite handy. Do they show any links with Gohan? They do. Saiyan Warrior Race and Fierce Battle. And we only get Saiyan... Oh, we don't get any links with God Goku. We don't get any extra key by doing this, but I guess we can go ahead and... Well, Bardock and Gine are very unlikely to kill, aren't they, actually? So let's let them go first. Because ideally, I would like to get... There we go. Get enough key with Gohan so we can get the potential additional super. Although, of course, now that I think about it, he's probably just going to kill because we've got so much key, he's effective against all types. So, Bardock and Gine are a unit that I am very much looking forward to seeing their Easy A. They already greatly raise defense on Super, and against certain enemy types, which is basically movie bosses and then Frieza, they get a bunch of extra buffs. So they definitely could be an interesting unit. On this team build, they're definitely not in their prime element. I mean, we do have... a unit obviously with the name Goku because we have God Goku on the team, so we do have some decent units on the team for them to at least be somewhat passable, but the fact they get a 200% leader skill from Gohan is really good, right? Because Gohan's leader skill is superheroes or hybrid Saiyans, and then his extra 30% is to Bond of Parent and Child, right? So that's the category that they're on to get the extra 30. Obviously they're on Bond of Parent and Child, or we wouldn't be running them here to do the mission, right? So I think I'm very interested to see their Easy A. Could be good. I guess the problem is by having restrictions that are based around certain categories and certain enemies, they'll potentially increase those buffs, but they'll still be to those specific categories. So hopefully they give them something that makes them a little bit better for, you know, any fights outside of those particular enemies. But their active skill is always going to be something that is going to be somewhat useful because it is one of the multiplicative attack buffs, right? So it gives everybody extra attack, and then it's multiplied on top of everything like support and all the other buffs and stuff that the unit would be getting for the turn. So obviously it makes your hard-hitting units hit a lot harder. So in events where they're actually going to be viable, they can make that nice little boost to the team. So it's a bit of a shame they're not on low-class warriors. I'm assuming because Gine is there, who, you know, she's not really a warrior, because that would be an interesting card for those kind of teams as well. But sadly, they are not on that category. In fact, they are the only unit now, right, from the 5th anniversary, like the headliners, that have not Easy A'd, because the 5th anniversary LRs obviously have their Easy A's already, and they Easy A'd the AGL Trunks and Mai, who were the banner unit for Tech Vegito. But these guys were the banner unit for STR Gogeta. So they're the last one out of that set of 4 to Easy A. And then obviously the Part 2 LRs for that anniversary were Int Rose and Physical Broly Trio. And obviously Int Rose has his Easy A now. So Broly Trio and Bardock and Gine waiting in the wings here to get their easy A's. I wonder if when is Dokkan going to finally pay off this, I don't know how long it's been, but is Dokkan going to finally give us a standalone full power Broly and a blue Gogeta, whether they're LRs or TURs or whatever, right? Because then that celebration would be the perfect opportunity to easy A these other couple of characters from that movie, right? Like the 2 units we just talked about, including Moloch and Gine, and then of course like Int, Broly and Paragus. Like they're a pure Saiyan support unit, so them getting a solid easy A would be good for a bunch of other teams, right? So hopefully those units will see their easy A sometime soon. I like how God Goku just immediately didn't dodge a type disadvantage super attack here, so you'll love to see that. I thought we'll put him in slot 1 and see some of that dodging in action, get some actual build up from his super, because I think we floated him off on the first turn, didn't we? So he hasn't actually got to attack yet. Unfortunately, he does stack up his defense a couple of times on the 18 key super, so before he's actually supered at all, his defense is not particularly great. Once he gets a couple of supers off though, that God Goku can still tank reasonably well even if he doesn't dodge. But when it's the first attack he's taking before he's attacked, it's not ideal. But Trunks and Future Gohan just going off here. In Future Gohan definitely up there at the top of the easy A TUR list. Not necessarily number 1. Let me know who you guys think is would be the number 1, whether it is him, whether it's AGL Zamasu, whether you still think it's like, you know, Blue Kaioken or maybe even Physical Piccolo. There's a couple of like contenders, right, that it could be. So let's see. Do you get any extra links from Bardock and Gine? You do get Saiyan Warrior Race. There's not a lot of key on this turn though, which is unfortunate for Gohan. Because if we want to actually be able to super with Pan, we'd have to do this. Is that going to drop those? Yeah, the int orbs are going to come down, but that's not enough. Man, Gohan and his key. I always forget that you really can't just throw him on a team, right? Like, even having him next to a support unit who's giving him stat support and key, and the fact that he gets extra key per orb, and we still are unable to get the super with it, like the 18 key, or even the 20, which is ideally what we want. With all the fumbles that they made with this unit, right? Like whether you're still someone who's big mad about him not being an actual playable beast card and stuff like that, his link set has got to be one of the most disappointing things about his kit, I think. Like, he's a unit that could quite easily just drop in and slot into a bunch of other teams if he had better key links. I feel like I would use him so much more if he was one of those units that fits into that category where you can just throw him on a team and he's good, right? But unfortunately, you do have to kind of build the team around him, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the fact that it's obviously restrictive to your team building, and then when you want to have fun building teams for other events and stuff like that, it just makes him a little bit more restrictive. Because the thing is, I really like physical LR Ulma Gohan. I think he's really good. I think he's underrated by the community, by a lot of people. Obviously, some people overrate him, but I think he's underrated by a lot of the community. So it is kind of always a shame when I use him in a video and he doesn't perform well. And I mean, I'm sure Gohan defenders will say, you know, if they were to see this video and see me kind of complaining about him a little bit here, I'm sure the defense would obviously be, you know, I have not built the team right in order for him to be good. Which is potentially true, but I just wish he was a unit where I could throw him on the team, like, willy-nilly, and then he's just going to be doing what I want him to do, right? So we can get the 20 key here. So, I mean, this is a decent enough rotation for him. Obviously, once in Future Gohan transforms, he's not giving the support anymore. But he's a very solid unit. He has his own damage reduction, so he's holding things down in slot 1 here quite nicely. I could have put Pan in slot 1 and kept her on rotation for the support for Gohan, but I really don't like, even in events like this where it's not as hard, I'm kind of conditioned now that I really don't like putting like dodge or die characters in slot 1 when I don't have to, right? Like, the rotation makes much more sense to do Transform Future Gohan and then Physical Gohan, right? And he did, in this rotation, only need the 4 physical key orbs. I mean, that's still 8 key to get him to 20 key, right? But 8 key worth of orbs. It is what it is. And then we don't even get the chance to get the additional anyway, because we just killed him. So now we're on the tech phase. We could definitely see some interesting numbers on this turn. So let's go ahead and, you know, we probably could just finish off this whole thing. Trunks has 845k defense. I mean, it's turn 8, but you know, this isn't like those old school Goku event videos where you see people doing like crazy defense numbers and it's turn like 18, right? It's turn 8, which some of the newer difficult content, you're obviously never getting to turn 8. But I feel like that's a pretty good stat for where we are in the fight, right? Now, unfortunately, we can't do Bardock and Gine's active skill on this turn because you need to have 80% or less HP, which is unfortunate. I was hoping we could juice up both of these active skills here, but what we can do is go ahead and we'll put the animations on here because, you know, this animation still is probably one of the best animations in the game, I think. Go ahead and see our boy Beast Gohan, even if it only is in active skill cutscene form, right? But there he is. Playable Beast is coming one day, okay? Maybe for the 9th anniversary, who knows? One day we'll get a playable Beast Gohan, who I feel like is probably going to end up having to have some kind of Dokkan original animation, right? Because, you know, apart from the kick and blocking Cell Max's attack with his body, the special beam cannon is like the only thing he does, and we already have it in the game in like a perfect animation that very clearly like is very close to like the source material and everything. So, you know, imagine if he was an LR, even if they gave him like the 18 key and it was basically just that exact same special beam cannon again, but maybe like a slightly different angle or something. He still needs to have a 12 key super and, you know, ideally, hopefully an active skill or a standby or something. Maybe he could have the intro where he has the beast transformation, even though, again, it's something we do already have. But it would be cool, but I guess we'll see. So I could get... Ideally, I should probably get the more orbs for you, but this is an interesting setup for sure. I mean, it's one of those turns where Gohan can't counter his super, or can't negate his super. So if we get immediately supered in slot 1, that would be bad. But we've negated the first attack thanks to the special beam cannon. And obviously now we're getting the Dokkan attack as well. I'm not going to hit the nodes here, just on the off chance that we can actually see Trunks attack. Because Trunks loses a lot of that stacked up defense. So I didn't really want to put him in slot 1 once I saw his post-transformation defense. But I kind of did want to see him get an attack in here. But we'll see how it goes. Gohan, okay, no hitting the nodes, so we didn't get a big multiplier. Got a crit, but Goku has a decent amount of health. And we didn't get the third super, which is actually good. And now we get super attack. We should be fine now after we've supered all these times, right? Gohan's defense should be looking pretty good on this turn. Yeah, double-digit damage, okay. Well, there you go. So, Sword of Hope Trunks, what have you got for me here? We didn't get a lot of orbs, and he is a nuking-style unit in this form. But, yeah, we're still dropping a 10 million attack stat. I'll take that. So, big, there you go. That's what the Sword of Hope should look like, not the result of the standby from the physical LR. I'm still so underwhelmed by the animation, like the ending. It's just like the little purple cloud. It's not what I wanted to see from the Sword of Hope, right? So we'll turn off the thing here. We don't need to do it twice in the same video, but we'll go ahead and hit the beam cannon. Do we kill him? We do kill him, so we do get the KO screen. There you go. Very rare that you get to see the Beast KO screen, so we'll absolutely take that. So there you go. That was the final mission for the Goku and Vegeta events that was added the other day. 5 of them in total. That was Bond of Parent and Child versus the GT Legendary Goku event. I do appreciate you guys that come out and check out these videos. You know, the Goku event and Vegeta event mission videos haven't been the best performing ones because I know it's not like a super hype subject for a video and the missions are not exactly difficult. So I do appreciate all of you guys that came out and watched the video. Leave me a, put hashtag BeastKO screen in the chat if you did make it. I say the chat, in the comments if you made it all the way to the end of the video, so I know that you are a real one and watched the whole video. As Physical Turles would say about you, if you do that, he is a real one. So there you go. That is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.